All right, so what is a thumbnail? If you know what it is, why should you care about it? How do you create a thumbnail template?
That's exactly what he's going to tell us about right now. All right, we're talking today about designing custom thumbnails for your YouTube videos. And Nate has, no surprise, some experience and some insights into that. So why don't you walk us through a little bit of that?
Absolutely. So we're going to show you stuff on the computer, show you exactly how I find a theme or get ideas for a theme. We're going to go into Photoshop, and so we'll create a thumbnail template. But I wanted to start talking about a theme and where to get ideas for a theme for your thumbnails and for your channel. And I love looking at other channels. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. In fact, I highly encourage it, highly recommend. Look at other channels, especially successful ones, and see what they're doing, and get ideas from that, and then create your own. You don't want to just blatantly copy and do everything exactly, but you'll get some great ideas.
You can get close.
Yeah, you can absolutely get close. So let me bring up my screen here. I've got 4 channels that I picked out. What's Inside? Okay, they do a really good job of creating thumbnails that are just still images from their video, but these are custom thumbnails. They're not just letting YouTube decide what image. They're probably taking a separate photo or grabbing a shot in their video that's like, what's going to create the most curiosity.
So basically, someone like me, I'm pretty new to this. I know that when I upload a video, YouTube is going to give me some, what I think are just randomly generated suggestions that I can choose. And most of the time people think, well, I've got to pick one of those. But there is an option where it says add your own custom.
So YouTube gives you 3 options, and they're just randomly from 3 different times in your video. And the 4th option that you're talking about is custom thumbnail. You have to have your account verified on YouTube to be able to do that. That sounds tricky, but when you go into your settings and go to verify your YouTube channel, it will send you a text message with a code. And then you come back to your YouTube channel, enter in that code, bing, you're verified.
I did that recently.
So
I finally got verified. Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And once your channel is verified, you can then upload custom thumbnails, meaning you designed the still image that's going to show on the screen. Like,
and that's pretty cool because that's not even part of YouTube Premium. So I mean, it's a fun little feature that you don't have to upgrade and spend any more money on.
And it makes a huge difference. I mean, this picture is what's going to entice people to watch your videos. So if you've got poor thumbnails, you're going to get poor view numbers. If you get really good thumbnails, you could have crappy content, you could have a lousy video, but if you have a great thumbnail and a great catchy title, you'll get a lot of people to click on it.
So that's what I like about this What's Inside, is they have a catchy title, so they don't need to put any text over the actual thumbnail. They're just the still photos.
Yeah, because their videos are so interesting. I mean, my son and I watched this, and What's Inside a Mexican Jumping Bean.
You and 3 million other people, because that is fascinating.
They show an X-Acto knife going right inside. I mean, so it's like, that's obviously a very intentional moment. Or What's Inside a Magic Chessboard. I'm kind of curious. That one, to me, is a little bit less boring, but maybe they had an axe chopping into it or something.
Yeah.
But What's Inside a Piano? Why are they out in the woods? That's what I want to know. So he's got a crazy face looking, what's inside microwave popcorn? Anyway, so
for a second.
You thought that was you?
Well, it kind of looks like me.
That's Dan. Meet Dan and Lincoln.
Okay.
All right, so this is one example, is you just get great still shots from your video that are intentional, and they don't have to be in your video. You can then afterwards say, okay, what would make a good thumbnail? Make this face, and take a picture of it.
Right.
And you can design it. Let's show you another example. Okay, this is Sunny Lenarducci. This is her YouTube channel, and she does a lot of social media marketing. She puts her face in a lot of them. Faces and thumbnails, for some reason, get results.
Well, and she's pretty, so you know what I mean. Pretty eyes, pretty face. That's going to grab your attention.
And something else that you notice is there's a theme. You can see her theme has kind of changed over time. Back, I guess if we go back 5 months ago, she had this gold border around all of her videos, except for that one. Had a maroon, but she kind of sticks to a theme that looks like it's evolved over time. Okay, so you can get ideas even just on this one channel. There's lots of different ideas of, and maybe you can look at, okay, this is what she used to do, this is what she does now. I wonder why she changed. Maybe a certain one worked better. Oh, she only did that one for a month and then she switched again. So anyway, what I really like is that there's a theme. She sticks to a theme. What I mean about theme is she always uses the color gold, and she always uses black and white text, or white on black.
It's kind of part of her brand, if you will.
So here's another theme. This is a real fun channel. I've actually met them, and I interviewed them in a couple of episodes about how to become a YouTuber and how to become a vlogger. They live in their RV full time, and they travel around. It's a family of 3 from Tennessee, and they live in an RV, and they go and they visit national parks and vlog about it. They've got patrons that support them through Patreon. They get AdSense revenue. He was a web designer. She is an RN nurse, but now they travel, and this is their career.
But they use that same theme, the white with yellow, big block letters, all caps.
Yeah. So this is kind of a combination. They take a shot from the episode,
Right.
but then they add in that same color of text. And you can see that there's kind of a shadow from the left edge going in. There's kind of a shadow.
Oh, right, yeah.
This one, it looks like it's on the right side. But they put a little filter over the top of them on the side where the text is.
Right, because it helps the text to stand out and not get lost in that. Yeah.
So, and they're very consistent. They've stuck with that theme. So even if it were a different picture, like this one here, I don't recognize Marissa right there, but because it's the white and yellow text, just subconsciously I'll know that's that's those guys. So anyway, I'm going to show you one more example, and then we'll get into Photoshop and creating a template. So what Grant has done here on the King of Random is he put the kind of the caution tape border. He's put his logo in the top right corner there, and obviously they go for epic shots and they color enhance them.
Yes.
They pick the points of high action in their videos and grab that image and design it out really well.
And that's clearly a template, because they're just popping in the picture or whatever with that same border, with the logo, whereas the other ones don't have those. Or I would imagine that's a template.
Okay, so now let's switch over to Photoshop. Okay, so this is a simple template that we use for Limitless TV, and all a template is, it's a file that I reuse over and over. It's always got the logo in the top left corner. It's got these gold stripes in the two opposing corners right there. And so then I can go and grab an image and I can paste it over to the top of that. So just for the sake of this, this could always be dangerous, right? What if we go to Google and we'll do a search? Let's say we're making a video about watermelons. That ought to be safe.
Right.
I hope.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
All right, so we'll come in here.
Okay, good.
Good. Now, be responsible with your photos. Make sure you have the rights to use all the images that you grab off the internet. So let's assume, call it watermelon. Okay, so I'm going to open that image now. And I can select all, copy that. I've got the watermelon image in my clipboard. Now I can just go down to the layer of Chris in front of his BMW there and just hit paste. And I'll put the watermelon in there. So that's what I mean by a template. And I could come in here and size it, or I like to scale it like that, so it'll show me the borders of the image, and I can just drag it and position it the way that I want. I can do a lot of settings here in Photoshop and hit enter, and so now I've used my template and I've just switched out the background, and I can come and change the text if I want to. Obviously I might want to move that text to a different spot, and I could show you how to do that.
I imagine if you don't have Photoshop, there's probably also other applications out there that will help you make your own thumbnails, right?
You have to use Photoshop or it won't work on YouTube. Okay, I'm glad you knew I was joking.
Yes, right.
So if you don't have Photoshop or don't have access to Photoshop, you can go to Google and type in Photoshop alternatives or free Photoshop alternatives, and you'll find lots of different options.
I'll bet if we typed in YouTube thumbnail maker, there would be somebody. Maybe I should make that. I could.
Go for it.
Should I? Would that be a way I could make money?
I don't think so, but
okay.
But yes, you should do it.
So because think about it. I mean, people have to make these custom thumbnails, and this is obviously a very simple way to do it. I'm just saying there's probably other programs that could just do thumbnails, because you got to be like some kind of Photoshop genius.
Well, Yes,
and yet
I
not.
definitely am a Photoshop
Right.
genius.
But what you did here was pretty easy.
Yeah, there's lots of things that you can do. I mean, on this box, retired. Let's go to the words retired at 26. I mean, it's got a little shadow on it, and if I double click on that, I can come in here and increase the distance. You know, so I can. There's a lot of things that you can do. The purpose of this video, though, I just want to say, keep it simple, because if there's something specific you want to do, you can then go to Google or YouTube and type in how to add a shadow
Right.
in Photoshop.
Right.
And you'll learn the
everybody.
specifics.
Yeah, exactly. You can learn Photoshop in your sleep with all of the stuff that's out there on it. Yeah, for sure.
So maybe one day I'll make some Photoshop tutorials, but the purpose of this one is just how to create a thumbnail. And I think it's most important to find your theme and to create a template, kind of create that shell that you can then just reuse over and over. And so you'll just save it as thumbnail template, you know, .psd. That's a Photoshop file. And then every time you just open that up, paste in your new background,
So
change
simple.
the text, and hit save, and it's already the right dimensions and everything. Ideal dimensions for a thumbnail for YouTube is 1280 by 720, as described by, or as...
And it tells you that on there, right? I mean,
That's what YouTube tells it. Yeah, YouTube says.
Beautiful.
You have a homework assignment, 2 parts. First part is to study other channels and come up with an idea for your theme, for your thumbnail design theme.
Yeah.
And then create one. Just create one and turn it into your template. That's your assignment.
And you won't be graded unless you send it to us.
Well, they will be graded, but not by us. They'll be graded by how many views and clicks it
That's
gets.
right. Yeah.